3, 2, 1, action.
It's cool how you say that the same way every time.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Every single time, right?
It's pretty sweet.
Thanks. Okay, so when you guys go up to someone that has recently had someone in their lives
poop on themselves.
Ejaculate?
No, it's actually a lot darker than that.
Pass away?
Oh, dark
Pass away.
poop. Oh.
Yeah.
Or they ate their own toe.
No.
That's gross, man.
Someone in their lives have passed away.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say pass some gas.
When you go up to them, what do you say?
My condolences.
My condolences?
I mean, depending on the relationship too.
It really depends on the person. If they have a good sense of humor, I try to like make like a dark humor joke.
I don't even know if it ever
Hey, I'm glad they're dead.
I know, right? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, that was just a dark humor joke.
Good riddance, right?
But if they're not,
Congratulations.
I gotta be really sensitive to who it is I'm talking to.
For me, when someone has just had someone pass away, I feel like that they've had so many people saying the same thing already that I try to.
You gotta spice it up.
Almost, not spice it up. I try to just glaze over it. If they're like, yeah, you know, like my aunt just passed or something, I feel like they've had so many, my condolences, damn, blah blah blah. She's smiling down. I'm like, shit, man, that sucks. And then I'll move on to like, well, like I try to change the subject because I feel like they've talked about it so much.
Exactly. I do the same shit because most people will be like, oh, I gotta see how they're doing, right? And it's like, motherfucker, do you know how many times they had to repeat this fucking story?
That's my thought process.
Yeah, that's exactly what
When I had my dad pass away, like, and people were coming up to me, like, I just saw it as a sign of respect, so I wasn't going like, fuck, not again, I gotta talk about it. I was just like, damn, they care that much. I was like, wow, thank you. Like, you care that much to, like, give me your time like that.
Just, if someone passes away, don't ask me shit, because I don't want to explain it 20 different times. Yes.
And for sure, I'll gauge, because sometimes people really want to talk about it, and sometimes they don't.
See, you gotta read the person. Yeah. If they seem like they need that support, or they're just tired of fucking talking about the same shit over and
If
over.
I know somebody had somebody pass away, like a loved one or some shit, and I see them, I'm like, oh, let me go around them or something.
Shit.
Like I try to avoid that.
You would not do that. You're so fucking sweet.
I'm in the same boat, because like I care about you. But at the same time, I
just don't know how to deal with it.
I almost don't. I want to avoid that conversation. You feel me?
I'll full on cross the street.
It's like, going this way.
Hey, by the way, my mom died.
Or I'm like, ew.
Stupid.
How cute.
Damn. So for me, sometimes I will say this phrase, which is
Is it a Latin phrase?
I'm sorry for your loss. Sometimes that will be my response, like when I find out someone lost something. And this blog post here on psychologytoday.com, they're talking about how people should just stop saying I'm sorry for your loss, because grief.
Because it doesn't even rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme.
Because one thing I know that does work, if someone passes away and you do a freestyle of the person that passed away, they usually are happy.
No, if you're like, hey, ho, I'm sorry that your family member had to go.
That's
Then
tight.
it has a nice rhyme.
Hey, boss, I'm sorry for your loss.
See? Immediately,
Then it's like, oh shit!
it works. That's why if someone passes away, you just gotta freestyle about
Hey,
it.
homie, I'm sorry you're gonna start feeling lonely. No?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That was kind of real.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
It's real. What the fuck he just said? Boss lost.
That's good. That's good.
What?
That was more like sad.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. I gotta work on it. I'll go back to the lab.
You're more of an emo rapper, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what they're saying here is that grief does not equal loss. So they're saying that, yeah, when someone passes, it creates, like, it leads into a valley where your life is forever altered now that you have lost this but now that this person has gone. And so they're saying that grief robs us of the innocent warmth that comes with knowing where we are headed. It leaves us exposed, vulnerable, and desolate. Grief has a way of creating a vacuum of air around us that steals our ability to take a deep breath. So they're saying here that people should be looking at grief in a new way, where so they're saying that a lot of people try to convince others that they can overcome grief. And
Oh yeah, the last thing you want to do is lecture a motherfucker too. Like, don't worry, that's nothing.
That's just life, bro.
Yeah, your
It's
mom
just
died?
life.
Oh, that's just his life. It's
gonna happen to you
it.
too.
It's like, what the fuck?
Instead of saying sorry for your loss, say I hope your grief is brief.
Damn it. I should have said that one. That was good.
that was good. good.
Grief is brief.
Yeah, well, they also gave some suggestions. They're saying instead of that, just say like nothing will ever be the same.
Whoa, that sounds worse.
Or my heart hurts for you because
That was nice.
because what they're
There's no turning back now.
I like that one.
The reason why they're saying nothing will ever be the same is because when you're using it as I'm sorry for your loss, it's creating a distance. So like a buffer that hopefully I won't experience the grief you're experiencing.
Okay.
That's what they're trying to get to.
I don't hear that shit.
Or if you can change the emotion, would be great too. It's like, hey, don't be sad that they're dead. Be mad that they're dead instead.
Yeah, just be angry about it.
How about be glad? Don't be mad, be glad.
Isn't this all just kind of like semantics though? Because it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you deal with death. How are you gonna deal with death?
Right.
Like for me. Like my dad's been talking about death since I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? So he's always been like, look, it's a part of life. That's like, I'm gonna go one day, you know, just like show me you love me now while I'm still here, blah, blah, blah. He's like, don't even cry when I'm dead, shit like that. So he's like, kind of like, we joke about death all the time, right? So if someone came up to me, regardless of if they say, hey, nothing's gonna be the same or sorry for your loss, I'm gonna process it the same way because I'm gonna deal with death the same way regardless of what words they're using, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, what if someone was like, that's the way the cookie crumbles?
This sounds like it's more for like maybe workplace etiquette or like people you're not like the tightest with. Because like in this room, I don't think any of us would say shit like that.
Sorry for your loss?
It would probably be unspoken and you just hug now. Like there'd probably be no exchange of words, you know? Because we're like, we're close.
I don't know, my head would have been like, so what do people normally say? Sorry for your loss? I'll
That's
choose
the way
that.
the cookie crumbles.
Hey man, hey, shit happens, right?
Que sera? Sera, man.
There you go.
Mi casa su casa.
Fuck it.
Taco Bell Grande, right? Nachos Bell Grande, yeah.
But yeah, they're just talking about how I guess this article is kind of helpful for people who are currently grieving. I thought it kind of it kind of like walks you through the way that you can deal with grief without telling you how to deal with grief.
Yeah, because most people don't deal with grief the way I think we do.
We just laugh about it eventually.
'Cause a lot of people, they need to marinate and sit on it for a while.
Yeah.
Versus I think a lot of us are able to kind of make fun, and that's maybe how we deal with some sad situations.
It's the only way I can deal with it.
Personally, the way I deal with grief is like I have to sit in it and I have to be like, okay, let me just experience this and let me feel it and like let it go through me. And then once it's out, then I'm like, okay, that's what I needed to go through. I do think my life will never be the same because now there is this like this thing that's like there's like
a void?
hole, like there's a void once that person's gone. Because like in my heart, like, you know, I have spaces for everyone that's there and like this person's gone, so there's a void, and that's just something that I now have to live with. And so to me, that's kind of how I go through it. Yeah.
That sounds so sad, too.
It's very sad.
Well, it's not like she's marinating in it. I think what she's saying is she goes through it in the appropriate time frame, and then like they're not forgotten. It's like they're still in her.
It's too sad, Gio. She's wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's sad if you see that hole in your heart as,
Constantly.
Like, because it's like if you
You're constantly thinking emptiness, void.
But if you sit in it and you've processed it and you're like, I have this hole, it's there, and that's how it is, and like, you know, not necessarily
dwelling
like,
on it.
it's not like there's
But now your heart's like Swiss cheese.
It is, and that's the way I live with it.
Right.
That's how I,
it's almost like, okay, look, it's less of a hole, and it's the impact that person made on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to forget about it. It's just like
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Fucking Swiss cheese, you know. But it's just like
I
something
guess
like.
that's a better way to put it.
Yeah, it's not a hole. It's an impact.
Yeah,
It's
the impact.
it's a dent that someone made.
I relate to that because when I lost my dad, like it's the impact or the void or whatever. But I'm not like it's still painful when I think about it, but it's not something that's stopping me in my tracks and I'm like feeling it all over again. It's just like, oh, I miss him.
Yeah, when my grandpa died, I was doing shtick about it all day.
You were what?
Doing shtick about it all day.
Oh, just like bits.
That was your way of dealing with
I'm
it.
at the gas station, and the guy's like, you know, that'll be $3.53, and I'm like, great, yeah, my grandpa just died.
That's how I deal with it too. It's almost like the more times I'm able to laugh at it, the faster I can heal.
It's so awkward.
But if I can't laugh at it or if I can't make fun of it, then it becomes like this wound that's not healing. But
And when I was like 11 or something, my uncle died, and I was in writers' rooms years later, and anytime people did bits about AIDS, because like writers being shitheads and stuff, I'd be like, my uncle died of AIDS.
Did he really?
He did.
Oh shit.
Where's the bit?
No, but that's the bit, is that it freezes the room.
The bit is making people uncomfortable. Yeah.
Freezes the room. Everyone's like, oh,
They're like,
Jesus.
wait, really?
And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and he was a gay man who died of AIDS. And he was. And that is, he did have AIDS, yeah. So it's just fun. It's just a way that
Some people process. I mean, things weird because like I know like Can's brother during his dad's funeral, right? It was his dad's time to go up to his grandma.
Ken's dad passed away?
No, his dad's mom's funeral.
Oh.
So it's his grandma.
Okay,
Right. So during the funeral, his dad, it was his turn to go up to the viewing, right? And for some odd reason, during that moment when Can's dad was saying goodbye to his mother, Can's brother thought it would be a great, perfect time to pants his dad.
What?
In front of people?
Yes!
that's even better than a rhyme.
He goes up.
Sorry for your loss,
His dad's fucking crying, right?
Oh my
He's last moments with his own mother. His grandma's up there. He goes up, he fucking pants his dad, and he's crying with his pants around his fucking ankles.
He didn't stop crying.
How could you? This is a movie.
And then he slowly puts his fucking pants back up, and Can and his mom are fucking laughing so hard. They're laughing so hard.
Because they might know how stupid the brother is.
Dude, and the brother, and meanwhile, the brother who pulled the pants down, he's like, I'm grieving. This is how I grieve.
Why is the brother so fucking dumb?
He's grieving.
What happened after?
When the brother, you go to another family member's funeral or something, or you go to a funeral that the brother's part of. You start walking up, a bunch of people have their pants like ripped down as you walk in. You're like, oh, it's he's definitely here.
Oh, because then they could wear like a belt, but they're like, no, this is the way he
For him.
Well, my boy, his uncle passed away, right? And he was like, and he wanted to bring his uncle's favorite beer to maybe pour on the casket or something, but he wasn't sure if it was gonna be disrespectful or not, because that was because you're pouring it on the casket. And he said he pulled up to the funeral and the casket was drenched in beer. Everybody brought his favorite beer and was pouring it on the casket.
I love that.
Was the uncle alcoholic?
Yeah, he died of alcoholism. No, that was just his favorite. No, that was just his favorite beer. Yeah.